Hello, and welcome to Trevor's Titillating Topics of Times and Tunes.
Hi, I'm Trevor Davis, your host for Trevor's Titillating Topics of Times and Tunes. Tonight we have a special event with our special guest, Antonin Dvorak.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Dvorak, thank you for being here. How was your flight?
It was fantastic. My arms are a little sore though.
Ah, yes, that old expression. Anyways, we're here to talk about your Ninth Symphony. Am I right?
Oh, that's correct.
Well, let's dive right in, shall we? Your first movement, the Adagio Allegro Molto, seems to have two movements within itself. The first being an obvious Adagio transposed over the top of a fast-paced Allegro. What was the reasoning for this, could you say?
I was trying to purvey my views on the American people as a hurry-up-and-wait society. Everything's to move either incredibly quickly or painfully slowly in America. I prefer slow.
So you're saying the tempos as well as the melody are both reflections on your first visit to the United States of America?
Yes, it is quite a different feel than my homeland of Czechoslovakia, which I usually describe with a much freer flowing tempo.
Okay. What is the purpose of the large booming brass sections, though? They are nearly to the point of overwhelming your audiences.
This is my way of illustrating tones that so many Americans can feel like they are part of, and a sense of astute nationalism by the people. I make the tones blunt and usually use macrato techniques to show people the whopping, unignorable influence of national pride.
Okay, but these sections are usually followed by an almost whimsical string-like string section. And do they fit the same purpose?
Yes, I keep them light and quick, using mostly violins, to display the unusually fast-moving streets of industrial America. It is beautiful, flowing over a 4/4 time melody that is all about the joy you can get from such an upbeat place. The cities were places I really had to check out. It's a pun. Out of the draw from to write this first movement.
Well, that all makes good sense. Now on to your second movement, simply titled Largo. You start this piece immediately with some ominous brass tones building up, until they resolve into a slow diminuendo. Upon entry of the strings, is there an implication on American culture in your opening phrase?
Think about that. I just, most of the time I drink. Oh yes, I started Largo with a spooky French horn melody that is actually part of American culture. The solo is from the days of plantations and is titled Going Home, as he would say. A fitting title for a foreigner to use.
You crack me up, Antonin, you silly goose. Speaking of home, we brought a special guest onto the show today. Her name is Mrs. Anna Dvorak.
Shit.
Funny thing about that is your mate is Czech.
Thank you for having me today, Trevor. Hi, honeybee. How you doing?
What the hell are you doing here?
Oh, well, I'm here to discuss your symphony. Mostly
I don't want to discuss it with you.
Mostly the fact that you connect each.
I'll drink.
Drink that. That you connect each movement of your piece through a single melodic phrasing that ties the entire work together through 4 moments.
Oh, right. Well, nice to see you two.
You see, folks, his melody is consistent, unlike his attitude toward his loving, caring, extraordinarily beautiful wife.
Mm-hmm.
I sense some tension here, but not nearly as much tension as you build with the fabulous crescendo about halfway through the movement.
You're so hilarious.
Right. Well, I suppose we could move on to your third movement then. Am I correct?
I would appreciate anything that's not talking on the way.
It seems as though, right off the bat, you begin to beautifully layer your tones, going from woodwinds to strings to low brass. What kind of effect does that have on the listener?
Layering tones, Antonin can't even layer the sheets right on the bed.
I love you too, dear. I'm going to need more alcohol. Dear. To answer your question, though, Trevor, I think it eases in the listen to the Chesro form and lets me manipulate each tone to its desired effect.
That is simply marvelous.
I will admit he is a marvelous man.
I dare not blush. Would you mind getting back to the piece now?
All right. Yes, of course. I didn't mean to, oh, never mind, whatever. Anyways, the Native American influence is evident throughout this entire piece. Did you gain this influence from your days in Iowa?
Well, yes, I absolutely love Iowa. Montana sucks. The Native American music plays a large role in the whole symphony and this movement in particular. But I wouldn't say my stay in Spittsville, Iowa, had much to do with that.
However, Spittsville did let us get in touch with the typical America, didn't it, dear?
My point exactly. This movement's largely influenced by a combination of Longfellow's Hiawatha and the feel of Iowa's open plains. And not much else. Well, quite frankly, nothing else.
Nothing else. Nothing else.
Well, then I'm glad to see it helped you out.
Well, I supposed in the long run it did. The beauty of the vast expanses of wheat and corn is breathtaking. Only for about 3 days, though. Then I need another beer. Then you can spend months writing about it so you don't have to look at it.
Right. Well, I hope Iowa doesn't feel the same way about you. Should we move on to your fourth and final movement, Mr. Dvorak?
Yes, corn whiskey. Or what about? Oh, that would be splendid.
Now a word from our lovely sponsors.
Fire.
Ice. Imagine.
You're in an elegant restaurant. A beautiful waitress brings you your food, and everyone is finely dressed around you.
And it's on fire.
The food is on fire. The waitress is on fire. The building is on fire.
But not the chairs.
Yes, that's a safety hazard.
Of course.
Now you're probably asking yourself, really? How safe is this? Well, we're going to be frank with you.
Not very.
Not very.
Not at all.
But that's beside the point. In fact, the building is actually safer than most. Not even arson can bring it down.
What are they going to do? Set it on more fire?
And we save loads on our insurance.
By not having insurance.
Oh, and then there's that ice
Ice,
building.
we
but
don't talk
we
about
don't really
that.
talk about that.
It's,
So come to Fire and Ice, where everything's on fire and we don't have insurance.
Before we get started, though, we have just one more surprise for you. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies mostly, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Johannes Brahms.
Damn.
So good to be here. Nice to see you again.
Eh. Brahms, you old bird. Good to see you, buddy, old pal.
Let's jump right into it, shall we? How about that name, Antonin? Allegro con Fluoco?
Can't pronounce it.
Let me handle this one, Antonin. Well, you see, my good man, this is extremely appropriate due to the fact that I clearly saw flames coming out of Antonin's fingers when he first showed me this piece. The man is sprouting flame.
Well, that's all very well and good, but why don't we hear what the composer has to say?
Is that really necessary?
Next question. This movement largely features horns and trumpets. Do you have a partiality towards these instruments, or do they simply give you the volume and sound desired for this piece?
I don't know what you're talking about. I had never really thought about partiality. It was more of just fitting entrance to a bold and noble movement.
Of course. Why would you insinuate partiality to this man? He's done nothing but brilliant works, and you are the
Cheers!
Calm down, calm down. It was simply a question. I'm sorry if you thought it was a bad one.
There are no bad questions, only bad people.
You, sir, after this show, are going to lock duels with me. Duly noted. Let's wrap this up, shall we? I'd like to say I thought you had brilliant use of the clarinets in harmony.
You're damn right he did.
Okay, well anyways, you used your woodwind spectacularly. A question I've always been curious of, though, is how do you know when a song is truly over?
The largest part of a spectacular ending is feeling when the listener will be truly satisfied. I place a few macrados at the end of my piece to keep listeners interested and feeling as though they are a part of the whole movement.
That is spectacular. Well, I suppose this concludes our interview with Antonin Dvorak, his lovely wife Anna, and the absolutely absurd Johannes Brahms on the New World Symphony.
You
See
deaf
next week.
bastard!
Ah!